see the drop of the wax just landed right in the middle of her lashes.
Said to you, so you've got a big nose and a big forehead, and you've got kind of round cheeks. So what I'm going to do,
Whacked half of the right.
firstly, welcome to the House of Inspiration. I was going to say the House of Podcast. You forgot it last time and I forgot it this time.
Hi, Roisin.
Hi, Mona. Welcome. We were actually just chatting about your birthday night out. Was it Maggie Mays you went to then for?
No.
Was it like rodeo riding, rawhide?
No.
No.
No, we just went.
Okay.
We just went
Wrong
for a dinner
place.
machine. No, it was Meze, a restaurant in Glasgow. I think Partiquay, something like that.
Oh, I thought it was Merchant City. Because remember when I was in seeing you and you said you were going there?
Oh, maybe I've mixed up the areas.
Yeah, you did. You definitely did. No, because I was wondering, because when you said we went to the place next door that had funny hats and funny glasses.
Right, okay.
I just assumed it was Maggie Mays and they were riding.
No.
Probably more than that after it, but still.
Okay now, Thomas? Thank you.
Thanks, boss. Thanks, boss, man. So how's your week been? What's been happening?
Oh my gosh, I'm surprised I haven't seen myself in social media lying on the ground flat like a pancake because I took my dog out, and my dog is 40 kilograms. 40 kg. So
what's that in stone and pounds then?
So powerful.
I'm like 60. 8/9. God, Mona, that's quite a bit to carry around.
So my dog seen another dog cross the road and went mental, and obviously I was trying to hold her and trying to pull her back, and I went flat on the ground. And like in these movies, the dog is just pulling you, so I was down flat on the ground, and now I was just running straight, and then she just realized after a few seconds, her owner is flat lying on the ground. So she
Mona folded like a deck chair.
So I was wet, grass everywhere, it was raining. I thought I'm going to kill her. Honestly, was
there cars or anything around? Was she okay?
What?
Was there cars or anything around? Was she okay?
No, is she okay?
Well,
if I was okay,
is Mona okay?
She was okay. But then I stood up. I was like, "Is anybody looking? Anybody recording?" I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Can you imagine Mona going viral on TikTok because your dog's running away?
Like horse riding on the ground,
Oh, brilliant! That's hilarious.
So yeah, that
was a highlight.
Unexpected.
Oh, that was good though. That was good. I've had
spilled myself.
We've only just started and she's spilling the tea already. More ways than one.
Oh dear.
No, I went and seen the Bob Marley movie.
Oh, right, okay.
It was really, really good and powerful message. Just a tribe of unity. I really, really enjoyed it.
Nice.
And then obviously it was Valentine's week, so have you had a lot of Valentine's nails in?
Not much, no.
Not to celebrate the love?
Not so much, no.
Me either.
No, I don't think to me it's very commercialised.
Very commercialised.
I don't really.
I agree. I stole somebody's balloons at the
celebrate.
table next to me and pretended they were mine.
Right, I've seen it.
Did you see it? Aye. They were not mine. Nobody bought me love heart balloons. Just saying.
Well, okay. I'll buy you one next time.
Oh my God, thanks, thank you. We'll go out for your birthday dinner. We still need to celebrate the 40th and
celebrate yours.
I know. We'll
We
maybe
need
get
to go for a dinner
a trip
together.
to Poland.
Well,
or something.
maybe our boss will take both of us since we had birthday. Yeah. What do you think, Tomek? Oh well.
well. There's a
Good reason to go.
good reason for. I was going to say a triple celebration, but that might have sounded wrong. Yep, there's a reason for all the triple celebrations. Let's do it. So obviously, Mona, tonight we were going to share. We'd posted on our Instagram, and just to say, obviously as well, if anyone had wanted to share any horror stories or client stories, or and again discussing the professionality around that. So
Okay.
if you get anything personally or that MD shared with you?
I got one. It's not, I wouldn't say, horror story, but how the lady, the beautician, how she approached and what she said is more...
Shit, I've just had hunters come back to me about hundreds of stuff. Sorry, just when you're saying that, right?
It's just about, some people, you don't realize how unprofessional the beautician and people who runs the business can be.
Yeah.
You just realize after people sending you all those stories, you realize. So we have a message from Lucy, and so I will read it out.
Okay.
I went for my first brow henna. I was a very bright blonde back then. I asked for a natural color. The beautician washed my eyebrows after 10 minutes, and it turned out my eyebrows are dark, deep black.
She's blonde.
Bear in mind, she's blonde, like really, really blonde at the time. So black eyebrows, deep black. I was looking like something between werewolf and Frida. I was terrified and asked to. I asked the lassie to wash it out. She told me there's nothing she can do about it. Asked me, and then listen to this. Asked me to rub it with a cigarette ash when I get home.
Cigarette, as in fag ash?
Fag ash.
Like, now, I always make a joke that my clients and my first 10 clients that I've done have got fag ash eyebrows because, again, just the different things with semi-permanent
why
makeup.
Would you say such a thing? What was the purpose of saying that?
Wash your eyebrows with fag ash. First of all, you might not smoke. Second of all, you'd need to go and collect a smoker's ashtray in order to
do it. What was the purpose of saying that?
I have never in my life heard of fag ash removing tint from an eyebrow in my natural. Never in my natural have I heard that. That is wild.
What would you do if the colour will turn up completely different than you expected? You was like, whoa.
Well, now I've had that.
Did you?
So obviously we've been doing what we've been doing for like 17, 18 years now, right? And then obviously when I moved into salon, I started working with a different, now please tell me if Tintin's about, that's my sticky up here bit.
Yes, it is.
Everyone. Is it?
Yeah.
Right. Boss, move Tintin out of the way. Oh, fuck it, we're here now.
It's like Alpha
Yeah,
from
yeah.
this movie, the boy.
It's here, is that it now?
No.
Oh, listen, fuck it, Tintin's out, right? She's out to play.
Tomek will fix it for you. Tomek, just fix it
listen,
for
listen, it's all fine. Just move it, probably the left.
Oh, there you go.
Thanks, boss. I love you, thanks. Oh, he's so good, thanks.
So what happened?
So, now it was using this, now obviously I still use it so people can check the work now that it's, but I'd done a few like swatches in my own arm, right, with this tint called Brow Code, which is absolutely amazing. It's a hybrid tint, right? But the girl who'd come into me was going on holiday, and she said, "Oh, I know you're using this hybrid tint." I said, "Oh, it's amazing. It stains the skin." Now, I'd obviously done my training, and the ratio is 1:1, right? But as now, we're all human. We all make mistakes, right? And again, I've been doing this a long time. I'm going to make myself sound really, really terrible at my job here, but anyway, so as I was talking away, I'd put two drops of the tint and only one drop of the developer, right? So she's got dark hair like yourself, Mona, right? Now think of Angelina Jolie in what was the one where she was the Snow White, the queen person? You know how she was the queen of the badness?
Yeah.
And she had the big black pointy eyebrows.
Yes.
That's how it went.
Okay.
So.
And what did you do?
So I was like, because obviously you always read the manufacturer's guidelines, and obviously
but sometimes, listen, sometimes every case is different.
Well, obviously.
Some people likes darker, some people likes lighter.
Well, that's the thing, obviously, in understanding, obviously I understand skin as you do too, right? So as it's developing, I'm going, because obviously I always cleanse the area, I cleanse, map out the brow, everything, so it's a total bespoke service, right? And bearing in mind it was the first time I'd worked on someone with that tint. I'd done like 3 case studies, 3 people prior to it, but they were all like blonde, pretty similar to myself, or they didn't want like dark. So yeah, and then obviously the shape wasn't that bad, and again you can check the social media to know that that's no, but just as it was developing I was going, my God, that's going really dark. Oh my God, that's really dark. But because the skin was so dry, which I'd noticed obviously when I was doing the cleansing routine, just pre my tint, I was like, that is
much stronger.
That's a tearing. Even after like 2-3 minutes, I was like trying to wipe it away. So we managed to resolve it because she had like a semi-ombre brow, right? So I kind of kept it on the arch and taken it away from the front. But again, I was just like, listen, this is the first time. I was just really, really honest. And I said, this is the first time I've worked with this tint that's been, because obviously I wouldn't ever recommend brows that dark. And I really genuinely wouldn't recommend brows that dark to anyone just because I always proceed with caution with everything that I do. And all my clients know that. You know that as well. I'm always very much like, come back and see me. If you need to see me 2-3 times, you come back and see me and we'll work up and we'll build up to it. But just because she went, I'm going on holiday, I want them the exact same colour as my hair, and it was like a jet black, like blue black dye. And I was like, sure, yeah. So I used the darkest tone, which I actually mixed. So the drop that I'd used, I had mixed a lighter colour in when I was doing it, so I'd use like the kind of 3-2 developer sort of thing, as opposed to the actual ratio, just because I thought I was being clever at that moment in time, and I thought, like again, 17, 18 years in the business, I did get a bit cocky, I think, probably. Humbling as hell, because I was just like, that's not really turned out how I wanted it to turn out. So, but again, we managed to resolve it. I just moved it from the front really quickly, kept her arch really nice. That was quite defined, almost like a makeup-y look. That's what she wanted anyway.
Yeah, that's good, because she was going on holiday, so always should recommend darker.
Oh, listen, one dip underneath the chlorine and it's off anyway, let's be honest. So, you know, right? It's like me, if I went into chlorine water, the hair would be green.
But that's what happens to my clients. They get the toes painted, and after holidays, they're like completely discolored. I was like, oh, my toes discolored.
Disappeared.
Listen, as the chlorine in a swimming pool. But I think, you know, we would approach clients differently now. Years ago, I had a situation that was about 16 years ago. Okay, so I just started doing eyebrows, you know, waxing, and one lady came to me, and I've literally, by mistake, of course, whacked half of her eyebrows off, right? Completely off, right? And then you should see my face, almost died, right? So I've just like brushed the hair, thinking she's not going to notice anything, you know, like brushed it off. Okay, bye. Now,
hairless Joe.
Now I would do completely different. You know, of course, that's not happening anymore. But
of course,
I would say, listen, I'm so sorry. Such a thing happened. That was, you know, I think you learn that through years. But if anything happened to you as a therapist, beautician, special makeup artist, if you make any mistake, it's better to just say about it, not just pretend. You know, it's, you know...
100%. And you know...
It's your skin, for example, you know? No, listen, I'm really sorry, I've made a mistake, or let
me rectify this for you. Let me do this, And you know, I'm actually thinking back to, I remember how I was a manager in MAC at the time, which maybe shouldn't say the makeup company, but hey, that's what it is. Say that now. So when I was a manager, I remember a woman had came and complained, and she said... So obviously, and I used to say this to my students all the time, you know this, we know this. So I, for instance, hate my nose, right? Everybody knows that. Everybody knows I hate my snout. I just think it's like, excuse me, it walks into the room before me. And I'm all right saying that now because I've learned to deal with that. I'm 40. Had at the nose jobs that's coming up. I'm kidding on. Jokes. I didn't get called shark attack off my ex for nothing. Also.
I think that's not true, but okay.
Well, thank you, Mona. But like if that was me, for instance, right? One of my clients actually, well, it was in Max. One of the clients had actually, one of the girls that were serving her had actually said to her, so you've got a big nose and a big forehead, and you've got kind of round cheeks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to contour here, here, and here. Now. You would never say that to somebody, obviously, because if somebody said that, yeah. So, and obviously, nobody knows how you're feeling. Nobody knows how you're going to take that. Nobody knows what kind of day you've had. Nobody knows what you're feeling. Like, and obviously, that person that was in the position at the time, it was like a semi kind of, and again, that person's definitely learned a lesson from that as well, because they felt terrible for hurting somebody's feelings, but it was the only way they knew how to like kind of articulate themselves at that moment in time.
Happened.
I know, and if that was somebody said that to me, especially in my 20s, I'd be upset. Do you know what I mean? If somebody said that now, I'd be like, what?
Bugger off.
Aye,
Like,
then some.
in a nice way.
yeah. But so at the end of the makeup, the client had actually asked to obviously speak to the manager, so I went out, and I was like, oh my God, you look amazing, great wee makeup artist, girl, was fabulous. I said, you look fantastic. How was the service? And she went, well, actually, I was really, really upset at something she said. She went, I've just come out of a long-term relationship. I feel really quite... She went, I was coming in to treat myself to some new makeup today, and this person said I had a big nose, so they were going to do this, they were going to do that, they were going to do it. And she went, and I know I've put on a bit of weight, and my heart sank, because I thought, and I know the person that said it wasn't a vicious person as well. And I also knowing that from that woman's point of view, how she was feeling also. So do you know, that way I was like, right, deep breath, Roisin, how are you going to deal with this? And what I did say was, can I just say, I think your makeup's stunning, I think you look beautiful, and I know in my heart that the person that said that has said something that it doesn't feel nice and it wasn't nice. And I can tell you they're not a vicious person. However, if it's okay with you, I would like to mediate. I would like to, if you're comfortable with it, I would like for them to come over and for them to hear that from you.
Yeah,
because
to see
I
what
think
kind of mistake they made, because they may not realise sometimes.
that's exactly what I'm saying, and because I know they weren't a vicious person, I still know them to this day. And again, a person who's been in the industry for a long time and learned a lesson through that as well. And it was through how someone spoke to her in the past. It was through her like love language, probably as a family, and as different things for her growing up. So you can understand it, but again, somebody's not got that awareness until somebody points it out to them. Do you know? So the woman went, I really don't feel comfortable. I don't actually. She went, I don't actually ever want to see her again. She went, I feel that.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So that was a very powerful learning lesson for me as a manager, because bearing in mind, I went from being a member of a sales team, a retail artist, to being a manager almost overnight. I had no experience with that. Just because I had a good way of sales and dealing with people, I was thrust into that position, which I never really asked for, and would never do again, may I say, ever. Because at one point there was 42 staff members, which was 42 new problems every day. But again, grateful for it, grateful for the lesson. So I then obviously had to pull that person aside and what I done was I kind of mimicked how. So you've got a big, so this is what I'm going to do. I just kind of mimicked how she would have behaved, and she was like, well, I mean, she did. And I went, but can you imagine somebody saying that to you? And it's not until, again, the appropriate means and ways of having the conversation happened that she was like, right, all right, I can see how she maybe took it that way, but I wasn't meaning it like that. I was just...
Was she young, the girl who was doing
very,
it?
very
Yeah,
young.
very young.
Very young.
I feel like, younger generation now, they're just not humbled. Like,
and it's almost like
they don't care. Straight to
they
the
see
point.
it. They see it on TikTok. They see it on social. They see people like just saying things like maybe not so nice, like nasty, and think that's. And also, it depends on how and what way they were spoken to when they were growing up as well, or how maybe people around them spoke to them, or whatever it may be. So I think there's a lot. And do you know, actually when I got to know her, because again she was a very, 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 very new, and we had separate trainers that were meant to have done their job appropriately. But obviously in that instance maybe a wee something get missed or whatever, which is fine. But it was just the ramifications for that was that could be a potential client that would never return to your business because of...
So, be careful how you speak to clients.
It's self-awareness, isn't it? It's just real self-awareness.
Because lots of different things happens. And, like, I had my clients and I see her for, I don't know, about 10 years she's been coming to me, right? And she has long, really long eyelashes.
Like myself.
Like yourself, of course. She's... So I was doing her eyebrows, and... So while I was applying the wax on, she opened her eyes. We were chatting and she opened her eyes. And
sticky.
And I could see the drop of the wax just landed right in the middle of her lashes. and I was speechless for a few seconds, and I said
I know,
to her,
because you're thinking,
oh my God, there's no way. Literally a few seconds, and that's just,
It's
hard,
it's
and
written the lash out.
Yeah, it's hard in a few seconds, like always is. But listen.
Lucky you then, Mona. Getting on, aye. I'm saying nothing.
So I was trying, I was trying to use the oil. I was trying to use so many different methods, right? And then it came to the point, I said, listen, I said, unfortunately, I need to just pull it off. There's nothing I can do in here, right? So what I have
Waxed
to do...
an eyelash?
No, I have to pull the wax off,
of course.
because she already had half of the eyelashes. I was trying everything, and there's no way I couldn't.
And
when
it's hard and there's oil involved.
And then I said, right, okay, I need to do it. So she had a gap in her eyelashes, but I was straight with her. I said, listen, it was a mistake, but she's been coming to me for so many years, and she knows I didn't mean it.
Of course.
But what if that would happen to the first client?
I know.
Should never come back, probably.
I know. But again, but
so anybody can, the best even can do mistakes.
Of course.
It can happen to anybody,
And that's even I was thinking about just stuff to do with like when I was younger. And I would say honestly now, and again, obviously we went to college with a very fabulous lady who was a lecturer at the time, Donna, and she was like, God, you'd be an employer's dream. And just because, and I mean that in a humble way, I don't mean that in a dicky way or anything, obviously, and it's because I would say yes to everything, I would do everything because I was so passionate and still am so passionate. But when I think back to, I remember I worked in a call centre, and I think back to, God, I had the sack for about 3, because I was their worst nightmare. But again, just being so creatively minded, you can't focus on, I couldn't really fully focus on conversations with people. I'd be away in a tangent about asking about their day when they were trying to give me their bank details and stuff like that.
Right, okay.
But anyway, I remember this guy phoning up, and honestly, this is still to this day, I just, if you know who you are, DM me.
What happened?
So I was working with a certain bank in Glasgow at the time, right, in the call centre, and now you have to go, hi there, this is Roisin for blah blah blah, what's the reason for your call today? Because obviously they press certain numbers, and it was different back in the day. But anyway, so I says, can I have, so he was spelling out his password to me, right, and he goes, so I said, can I have the first letter of his password? And I just remember him going, it's D for dickheads, right? And then I went, and can I have the third or whatever letter it is, right? And he went,
Sorry.
I know, and he went, it's I for ich. So he'd said D for dick, I for ich, right? Then he goes, C. I says, can I have the whatever? And he goes, it's C for cunt. That's really good. No. Then he said, but what else was it? He said something, and I then went like that. So I was obviously howling on the phone, and I went, so basically your password's dickhead. And that's really good.
My gosh, that's so much.
I get the sack 2 weeks later.
You were
I was sacked for 2 weeks later. Fucking.
No way.
Because obviously, you're not meant to. Because obviously, I was trying to have banter with him, right? Because he was a cracking accent. He was Liverpudlian, for fuck's sake, you know what I mean? But it was how he went, D for dick, I for ick. And then I was just like, and he went, C for cunt. And I just was like that. I just automatically heard dickhead. Like, do you know? Like, honestly. And see, when I think back to like that and who I was as a person, then to who I are now.
Thomas, can I have a tissue, please? Thank you. So speaking of things like that, I need to tell you a story. When I was in a pub once, or a club, some people think we're just clubbing, and when we were younger.
Well, we were wild, Mona.
And so, obviously, as we said before, my English wasn't that good, and pronunciation of some words are sometimes difficult to me, okay? So that was maybe about 9 years ago. Thank you so much.
Thanks, boss.
Brother. So what happened, I went to the bar, and at the time I was drinking, I think I was Yeah, I was
Shabrufka.
asking, no, Morgan
Shabrufka.
Spice. It was Morgan
All
Spice.
right,
okay?
all right.
My,
Captain Madwit, you look great. You look fabulous.
so what happened? So I went to the bar, and bear in mind, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but I'm going to say it.
Just
Okay?
say it. I've said the word cunt.
Right. so what happened? So I've never said that word again. Never till this day. So I went to the bar and I said, "Hello, can I have a Morgan Spice with Coke, please?" And he was like, so I could see, and I was dead serious about it. Wanted to order a drink, and I could see him with the biggest smile of his life. I could see the teeth from upper 8 till upper, left 8 to right, right 8. The biggest smile you can imagine. And I'm looking at him, I was like, why are you smiling at me like a horse? What's going on here? And he said, excuse me, with this big smile. I said, hello, can I have a Morgan Spice with Coke, please? And he was like, and he's looking at me confused because I was so serious.
I know.
Then he was like, what is she meant it? He thought I want to take him home or something, And then with this bigger smile, the biggest, 3 times I had to repeat it, right?
Then he's like that.
But of course, me not realizing what this actually means, right?
Oh.
Till I found out a few years after.
A few years?
Few years. They said, Mona, it's Coke. Not Coke.
Not Coke.
And I said, so till now, I would go to the bar and I said, hello, can I have whatever, certain drinks, let's say Morgan Spice again, with Coca-Cola, please. So I never, ever scarred me for life because I still remember this big smile. And honestly, it's like he won $1 million,
He would have been thinking it was his luckiest day and night shift ever.
So now you would never hear from me. I would always say, can I have a Coca-Cola, please?
I know, a 25mm measure and then up the road.
Yeah, so this is
brilliant, that's hilarious.
This is the way I pronounced it, and I just didn't realize, Because to me was
but that's
was
the
a
thing.
drink.
But you're not going to know until somebody tells you. And
I
actually,
was like, why are you smiling at me so much? Like, what's going on? And
Mona,
he was still like reaching for the drink and looking at me like, going back. And I'm standing there at the bar, so serious.
But that's why
I think that's why he was confused because I was so serious about it. And he was like, what? And 3 times I have to repeat it because, and I honestly, he was
I'm just thinking
the
back,
happiest man I think behind the bar that night.
I was just thinking back to the episode where you told me there was people waking up naked in your flat. Maybe that's how you were asking for.
Not naked. I think was maybe something was on, like maybe trousers
not
on.
with you, not with you. Obviously not with you. Let's just be clear, not with you. But oh my God, that is so funny. I can't believe that. And then, it's just like when you think back to. I remember the very, very, very first makeup I ever done. It was when we were at college, and somebody had asked me to do their makeup for a wedding. It was a friend of a friend, and obviously how everybody goes, oh, she must be good. And again, it was back in the day when makeup wasn't a big thing, as big as clearly what it is now, right? Yeah. And I remember
we were still learning makeup from books.
I know.
Really,
I will. And again, I was saying that to obviously.
Now it's all social media and YouTube channels.
You can actually see people putting it on. When we were doing it, nobody was doing it. Yeah. Nobody was like, you were literally learning as you were going. Do you know what I mean? And then you'd get, but anyway, that's another story. But I remember I went to do my very first ever. And do you remember we used to do how they set in the hair and you used to have to do like a whole makeup and setting hair together kind of thing. So I'd set the hair in these, I think that I borrowed my auntie's, because she was a hairdresser, I'd borrowed my auntie's curlers at the time, like these purple rod things. I think they're probably perm rods, to be honest.
Right.
So I swear to God, so obviously the bride, right, got a spray tan for the wedding day. And people will remember this, obviously, of certainly our genre and age group. Estee Lauder, I was going to say Estee Easter egg there for talking about it. Estee Lauder double wear. It's obviously still a good foundation, but obviously because it's got lots of talc in it, that's why there's a lot of flashback, like on camera from it. But obviously when you're learning, obviously there's that many different foundations out there, and there's so much knowledge out there now, which is a fantastic thing. But when you're learning, and it's like the first ever wedding makeup you've done, she had this beautiful, gorgeous spray tan, and I thought I'd matched the foundation up to it. Now, I'd met her in a pub. It must have been a good few years ago. I had never seen her wedding photos. Now, again, I'm going back 17, 18 years ago. I'd never ever seen her wedding photos. And I was out with my friend Lynn, my high school pal, right? So we'd met her in a pub in Coatbridge. She's like, why don't you come back to your house for a few drinks? And we were reminiscing about when we used to do all that makeup and blah, blah, blah. And I swear to God, I walked in the hallway, right? And I went...
White face and brown neck?
I know, I looked up and I went, who the fuck is it? I actually went, who's that, Raya? And oh my God, it was my makeup that I'd done years ago. And she had it displayed in her hallway as you walk in her house. And I'm like... Get that down. I says, can I do you another wedding makeup shoot? I said, that is horrendous that is even still on your wall. And she goes, I know, we always do talk about it and we always do laugh about it. And I'm like, please get it. I actually
great advertisement.
I know, exactly. But I mean, obviously I've had many good weddings since and after that. But the thing is, I literally was, when me and Lynn were leaving,
you wouldn't be in Saudi for no reason.
Well, exactly. Which I might be going back to, but I'll tell you that another time.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was literally about to steal the picture as I was walking out because I was going, oh my God, I just want that off the wall. And I used to tell my students that all the time, and just to say, never mark yourself on the first thing you ever do, because you have a journey, and that journey will take you in so many different places. Do you know what I mean? It's just so...
Of course, you need to make mistakes to learn. Yes.
Yeah, and you also need to see a picture hanging in a wall several years later to go, what the was I even doing? Do you know? But but I think it's incredible now that everything comes with so much knowledge. Even the power of social media when it's used correctly, the power of YouTubes and Instagrams and different things, again, used correctly for the right amount of information, is such an education and quality tool for people, and that's the value and purpose you get in it, and that's the value and purpose I used to give in a classroom, because I would just be real and honest, you're just being real and honest there when you're sharing that about you still have good and bad days, and yes, we have 99% more good days than bad now because of the learning experiences we've had.
Yeah, but everybody needs to think, needs to know that, you may be good in some certain, treatments, but still mistakes may happen.
Exactly.
You're only human being, and if you do something wrong, then how otherwise you're gonna learn?
Exactly.
You need to, you're still learning and you're growing, so you need to make mistakes. From mistakes, you will learn.
The biggest is, like, I was listening to something the other day, and it's just really quite poignant, because I'm scared. I'm actually really scared about doing something in a couple of days away from now, and I mean, it's nothing that is major to me, but and I was thinking about, like, fear. So using the word fear is like the absence of getting a result, or the absence of, like, being reluctant to something. So what way are you going to look at it and changing your perspective of it? And it's the same as obviously your professionality and your career. Do you learn from your mistake and failure and use it to move forward, or do you let it just shut you down completely? Do you know? And I was like, I'm actively just working on saying every day, like, even in the cold today, I'm going, I can do this, I can work through this, I can do this. So it's like
Of course, you need to face your fear always.
Exactly.
Because, something seems so big and so scary till you really... I was speaking to my friend about it today. I said, something may be such a big deal for you, but you need to try to face your fear. If you do it, then you realize, it wasn't that bad, really, But you need to face it and then realize, okay, I've passed it. I'm okay. I can do it again. But if you think about it, it just goes bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're too scared to do it.
I know,
but if you try, otherwise, how are you gonna know?
Exactly.
If you don't risk, you're never gonna get anywhere. You need to risk in life sometimes to be where you want to be.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just gonna stay in the same place.
And that's because obviously that's something we're both passionate about, and I genuinely, I'm so flipping my mindset around it, and regardless of anything, I know I can do it because everything I've always set my mind to, I have achieved. But it is when you go in with that initial fear, and it's something that
But the fear is always there.
I know, and it should be there. It should be present. It should be present. Like, you know that
you can't think, oh, you know everything and you're the best at absolutely everything, you know, because you're not. There's always
because you're D for kids. If you do this,
you think, you know, years ago, you know, when I was, I don't know, 19, 20, you think when, I don't know, I remember when my parents or my dad would ask me, I would rent the flat, you know, with my flatmates, and they would come to me and say, oh, are you okay? You have money? You're fine? I'll always say, yeah, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. I have money. Yeah, don't worry. And then I would have £5 in my pocket, and I wouldn't know what to do with it because I was too proud to say, no, I'm actually struggling.
Yeah.
Did you think I would have all this what I have? I have my own business, successful business, employ people. No, I never. Back then I never thought about it, but I was doing everything towards that. And then, you know, you just need to try. And because I was, you know, I've decided to move out, I decided to be, you know, an adult, so I couldn't just say, oh, I'm struggling. No, I was like, no, I'm going to show you that I'm going to manage. And of course it was hard, but I don't know, I just was too proud to say, oh, I'm struggling or have no money or... But
I know, true. And
I've made it work.
And
so
that's,
it's fine. And I'm proud I've done everything myself,
Of
right?
course you have, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's exactly what it is. It's just it's pushing through the fear to get to the other side, and then the absence will be no longer.
Yes. Do you have any other story from your clients?
I don't. Nothing that. Probably nothing that I can say until nothing I can say maybe off air. Know what I'm saying?
Okie dokie.
Well, Mona Bishara, it has been a pleasure in the House of Inspiration.
As
always. Tomic, our boss man, thank you.
Thank you. Tommy's like, right, finish this shit.
I know. I want to go up the road for my jippy.
Right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I'll see you
Thank you,
next
Mona.
time.
I'll see you next time, my gorgeous.
Yes,
See you then.
beautiful girl. Bye.
Bye.